Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take a quick look at KuCoin, and I hope you are having an amazing day. Just before we jump into Crow, though, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin too. I think it's helpful to get perspective on what's going on here. I just want to note quickly that we got $2 cost average zones here. This is basically zones that I recommended to my community members to consider adding to your position. We anticipated this a long time ago, right around 64,000. Kind of saw the crash coming just based on the volume and the way that things were moving. So that being said, at this point, I recommend dollar cost averaging as the price continues to decrease if it were to. We don't know if we're at the bottom yet, so I don't want you to get super hyped up and be like, "Oh my gosh, Bitcoin is back on track." We don't know yet. We need some more time, right? Patience is key. So if you're currently a patron watching this, I haven't sent out a lot of signals recently based on the sheer fact that we want to ensure with our long positions that Bitcoin is going the right direction. Okay. And that being said, the key takeaway here is that we need to have the 1 day candlestick close above 58,000 in order to have some type of sense and security that it may be going the right direction. Still too early to tell. We got a bunch of dead cats in the recent past where the price comes up, you think it's back on track, and it dumps out the bottom. We could see that again. There's not nothing that's foolproof here yet. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that. That's kind of where we're at for the moment for Bitcoin. Not bad, not good. Just add to your position as the price continues to lower. Dollar cost average 10% at a time. That's my recommendation. All right, so taking a look here at Crow, and obviously some of you are returning viewers. Thank you so much. But if you are new, just know I love teaching people how to become better traders. This is for educational purposes. And my whole role is to ensure that I help you become a better trader. So I'm going to hopefully help you try to learn something here today. It's up to you if you want to be receptive to that or not. But simply put, I have a trading community where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. Check that out in your own time. It's a really amazing experience. It's growing rapidly and really cool. So just know this is my full-time job. I love doing this, and you're in good hands. So hopefully you can learn something here. Taking a look at the 1 day chart. Now, we look at the basics first, right? And the moving averages are far enough away. We don't need to worry about that for now. But those are going to become relevant eventually. For right now, all good. The key takeaway here is that we're above 70 on the RSI. That's fantastic. That gives us that momentous trend, right? Doesn't mean the bottom isn't going to drop out tomorrow. Very well could. I don't think so, but that's a likelihood of any coin. And the bottom line is though that the 70 on the RSI is working as a support level. So you can see it came up, bounced. It did that previously as well. It had to drop and correct over here because this was extremely overextended, and then of course Bitcoin sold off right around the 10th. So there's little stuff that kind of influences it. So keep in mind, KuCoin moving very independent of Bitcoin for the most part. It still has little tendencies of having to correct itself when Bitcoin does too. At least significant corrections, right? We saw that here. This is a recent Bitcoin sell-off, and there is the 8th through the 10th right there too. So looking at the 4-hour chart, between 50 and 70 on the RSI, fantastic, awesome. We'd love to see that. That's extremely important when it comes to bullish trends, bullish momentum. Basically means we have more gas left in the tank because it's not considered to be oversold, but it's low enough to allow for it to continue to increase, right? Which is great considering the fact that it's increasing for the last 12 to 16 hours. Looking at the MACD, we got a potential MACD convergence again, which basically just implies that we could see a swing to the upside. Traditionally, anytime you see a MACD convergence, which is the 12 intersecting with a 26 in an upward fashion, the exponential moving averages, when these essentially intersect, you can tell that there's going to be some type of price action to the upside. That's traditionally how it works. Is it foolproof 100%? No, not all the time, but it does tend to work more favorably. So that's kind of an indication that you're on the right side of the spectrum, so to speak, because the bears have lost control and that momentum is shifting bullish. Looking at the 1-hour chart, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So let's quickly peek at the cloud. Awesome, love it. See how the price came down, traveled into the cloud, and essentially holding the price up. So the cloud is really good about keeping itself as a strong support level in a lot of ways. What's also nice too is when you have a cloud intersecting with strong support levels, it'll continue to help push the price up, just like moving averages can do. So it's a great quality there for the cloud, but simply put, we're in good shape here to continue. And I don't think we're going to have any type of unnecessary correction unless, of course, Bitcoin dumps sub 56,000 in the near future. We could see that here today, Friday being a sell-off. Fridays can be red days sometimes, but I don't think we're going to be in dire straits right now. I think we're just going to see a slow increase over the weekend because consumers like you and I are increasing, adding to our position, and the whales are kind of taking the weekend off. They are traditionally over the weekends not investing a lot, and we'll see it in most cases the price continue to the upside on the weekends, and then on Mondays and Tuesdays they're very much red days as we experienced here recently. It's just Yeah, it's like Sunday the price jumped up by 5,000 for Bitcoin. Okay, we're gonna see a tank on Monday. That's exactly what happened. So regardless, the CuCoin's in good shape. That's all I'm trying to let you know here, that pending Bitcoin doesn't do something obnoxious. CuCoin is showing good qualities here. See, we got the higher highs, got the higher lows, and the next high has to be higher than this current high in order for it to continue this trend. And if it doesn't continue the trend, that's actually still well and good, because what happens a lot of times too is the price will effectively continue to consolidate closer to this resistance level, because there is an ascending wedge type of pattern pushing to the upside. Because oftentimes when an all-time high keeps getting tested, it'll eventually break. And once it breaks, it'll jump up to the upside, right? And then it'll come back down, test it one more time, establish that as a support level, the previous all-time high, and then take off from there. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. We should see something very similar to that, considering CuCoin's progression here so far. So to me, at this point, I'll have to draw out some more Fibonacci retracement lines soon. But for now, based on the previous data, this is roughly about 3 weeks worth of trading. CRO has increased in 3 weeks, approximately 195%. And to get us this extra little, 10 to 15% here, we're going to be able to see that happen. I think 65 cents is very likely. So what we can do here, we can go ahead and, in fact, we can do that right now. I'll just go ahead and grab some of these guys here, remove that, and let's just go ahead and grab a quick little prediction based on the recent data. Okay. So over the past, just say, why don't we go with the last, let's do 2 weeks. Okay. We can see that the previous support and resistance levels from the previous chart are working here. So based on this sentiment here, just say in the last, 9 trading days, hypothetically, 9 days from now, we could see CuCoin upwards of 87 cents. Now I say strong hypothetical there, just based on the sheer fact that we're going to hit that maximum occupancy, where you get to a certain point and it starts slowing down. We saw that with Solana and ADA recently, where it took off, did very well once it broke its all-time high, and then it starts trailing off once things start happening in the market. Now, granted, CRO hasn't shown any sign of that yet, but it's still a consideration. You need to understand that. So bear in mind, just say you take entry today, you're not going to have 9 days later you're going to have 2x, right? That's not exactly the case, but there is strong potential that if we can break this all-time high here soon, that 87 cents would be effectively the next target within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So month end is possible for 87 cents. I'd more so like to say year end for 87 cents, just based on the sheer fact that it will need some time to consolidate soon. It's pretty much done nothing but increase ever since it broke its previous high somewhere in the 20-30 cent range. So just bear that in mind. It needs a little bit more time to consolidate. I like its progression. It's had a pretty healthy bull run so far, but it'll probably have to consolidate closer to resistance is my guess. And then we'll see a break to the upside and kind of start seeing one of these. There's a good chance of that. So just bear in mind, 87 cents is likely, I would say, in the next month or two at the extreme, most conservative. But realistically, we could see this happen in the next 9 days based on its recent price action and how well it's performed in the recent past. Okay, so there's that. So hopefully that resonates with you and you understand what I mean by that. But ultimately, I want to thank you so much for joining me here. If you want to leg up in the industry, feel free to join my Patreon community. I share signals with every single trade that I take, and I traditionally take about 1 to 3 trades per day. But lately it's been a little slower because Bitcoin, right? Any good trader is not going to just jump into the industry and try to smash your head against the wall. There's no point in doing that. So right now we're seeing a downtrend from Bitcoin. So to my current patrons that are waiting for my signals, yes, I'm sending swing trade signals, but my day trades are a little less frequent just based on the sheer fact of how it's working. So you're not seeing a lot of traditional signals, but it will ramp back up soon. And obviously once we enter the bear market, it's going to be all well and good, because once there's a bearish sentiment in place, then we can just short like crazy, and it's the exact same scenario as a bull market. In fact, it's more lucrative based on the ways in which the percentages work, because we're closer to or further away from the bottom, and it's more exponential on the way down. I'll explain that more as we go along. Thank you so much for joining me here again. Appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one. Take care.